Hey, Tubies! Woo! It's Psychic Bob. And you know what time it is? It's 8 p.m. Eastern. It's 7 Central, probably around 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific. It's 1 a.m. London time and 2 a.m. Paris time. You know what time that is? It's the witching hour. Yay! Well, welcome here, guys. We are so glad to have you. We got our crew back. Hopefully, Lady Carol will be with us. She's having some technical problems, but hopefully she'll be with us in a little while. But we got Lady Angela and Lord Tony here right now. Lady Angela, why don't you start us off and say hi?
Hi, everybody. Super excited for tonight's show and so glad that you're here.
Yay! And then we got our wonderful Lord Guardian of the Order of the Purple Cord, His Most Excellent Lordship, Lord Tony. Lord Tony, you want to say hey?
Hey. Hey, everyone. I'm glad to be here. We should have a good show, and hopefully to warm things up, too, because it's flipping cold where we are. So.
Oh, let me tell you, Lord T, I'm cold, too. I got on an extra sweater here. I got on my hoodie. I'm trying to stay warm, but you know how it is. Sometimes it's just what it is. Anyways, I think Lady Carol's trying to come in. It looks like she might be with us. I hope she got her mic working. Lady Carol, are you with us?
I hope so. Is it working now?
Yay, now we can hear you. Yay.
Yep.
Oh, Lady Carol, you want to say
Yeah, it was my drivers. They didn't update on the camera.
Oh, okay. But you're here now.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, lady.
Yeah.
Speaking of the lady, what's going on in the back there? Is that your goddess back there?
Yes, we're getting ready for tonight. Tonight is the, what is it, blood moon, I believe. And it's going to be the only one for this year and next year.
Yes, that's true. It is the blood moon. And look, and the goddess is all decked out. She's looking regal.
Now, Bob, I've been getting asked a lot lately about this full moon we're having right now. What kind of energy can we draw from with this moon that's going on?
Well, you know, from an astrology perspective, the blood moon sometimes heralds, it's like a foreshadowing. It can be a warning, and it means keep an eye on world events. Now, I don't like to be doom and gloom and prophesy everything, but I'll tell you from a personal perspective, let's put all the doom and gloom prophecies aside. Blood moon is a sign of find your inner strength. The heart of our life is our heart. Our heart and our soul pumps our blood. It gives life force. So I always like to say the blood moon is about rediscovering your own life force and letting it bring blessing and power to you.
That's exciting. Bob, we got a lot of shout outs in our chat tonight. We got quite a group gathered here.
Oh my
Lots
goodness.
of old names and some new names too. We got Fairy Magic. We got Sanja Testerman. Angela Lokes here. Gav's here tonight all the way from, where's Dad Gav coming to us from, Bob?
From London, England, all the way from the UK.
Holy moly. We got Don Chance tonight. We got Crisco Cardenas, Billy Mayer, Tilly, Hermit, Kathy Private's with us. Christian Druid's with us.
Oh my gosh. Well, guys, welcome, welcome. I'm trying to get our chat going here, and we'll see all you guys. Oh my gosh, look at everybody's gathering. We got a great group.
A lot of Purple Cord members, a lot of new members, or new people showing too. We're so excited for tonight. This show is as much a part of you guys as it is us. We look forward to your questions. So any witchy type or spiritual type questions you have for us, type them in the chat box. We'll try to get to everybody and see how it goes. We're excited.
You know, I saw a question I want to address. BMF 465 says, do you think that it's sexist that the moon represents the female since the moon only reflects the sunlight? You know, BMF, that's a good question. I want to address that. You have to understand that the concept of the moon as the goddess is very, very ancient. And in the early days, they did not know that the moon was a reflector of the sunlight. That's a modern knowledge. In the old days, the sun and the moon were considered the illuminators of the heavens and were given equal power. So the moon's light was believed to emanate directly from it, and it had its own power. And it's a softer light, a more mystical light than the sun. Well, they're both mystical, but people tend to feel that the sun is like masculine energy just by its nature, and the moon speaks of dreams and gentleness and nurturing. It's a softer energy. That's how it became associated with the gods. So the ancients did not do it out of any sexism. That's a modern concept that in our politically correct culture, a lot of people are getting ideas like that, but that's really not how it was seen. You have anything you want to add, Lady Angela?
I do, actually. You know, the sun and everything in the cosmos is in balance, where the sun and the moon balance themselves. And think of yourself standing out when the sunlight's on you. Everything that's like your front facing is shown, is revealed. But yet when you're standing in the moonlight, your shadow self and shadow things are revealed. So it's two sides of one coin. So it's a balance. It's not in competition with each other. It's in perfect balance.
Oh, I love that. Any you guys want to throw in on that? I think it's a good question.
Yeah, I was actually thinking of the yin and yang symbol, which is a perfect example of the balance between the sun and the moon. Because if you look at the yin and yang symbol, they're equal in every way, but they're perfectly balanced. They complement each other.
Very good point. I would agree with that. Absolutely. Yeah. You know, I would say, BMF, that one of the things that you really want to kind of be careful of is buying into political correctness, because the craft is an ancient tradition that was created with its concepts way before that. So you got to step out of our modern view of things many times to kind of see the ancient view. We call the faith, the craft, we call it the old religion, don't we, guys?
Yes.
Because it goes way, way back. Now, people will argue and say, well, Wicca only started in 1930s. Yes, the term and the structure as we know it today may have started, but the practice of the craft itself is far older, and its concepts are far older. They're thousands of years old. In fact, people say that the craft is the oldest religion on the planet.
The craft, I believe, actually started at the beginning of time when man discovered fire.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Very interesting. Or how to work with the elements, you know, as far back as that. Dion YZ has a great question along these lines. They say, oh, I'm sorry, Dion. It's actually Pauline Brody. I apologize. They say planet Earth has the soul of Gaia. Does the moon have a spirit? And if so, is there a name? I'm guessing a lady's name.
Lord Jeremy,
I think that's a great question. And, you know, any of our goddesses can personify the moon. You know, the moon goddess. There's many moon goddesses that are specific. It's not just one. So a quick answer, there really isn't. You know, it's not just one goddess. She'll call to you. You know, I have several goddesses that I connect with that are moon goddesses. You know, there's different phases, but yes, there's many names absolutely for the moon in a moon goddess form.
Yes, the ancient Greeks referred to the moon as, they called her Artemis. The Romans called her Diana. She's been called Selene in the Romans. There's the waxing mother, the waxing moon, the full moon, and the waning. So they each have a goddess. The triple goddess is included also. So like in the old days, they may call Diana the maiden of the waxing moon. They used to call Luna the mother of the full moon, and then Hecate the mother of the waning or dark moon. So you see, these names are ancient, and yes, you can call the goddess of the moon by any name, really.
Absolutely.
Just like the mother, maiden, and crone.
What's that, Kara? I couldn't hear you. Say that again.
That's why we have mother, maiden, and crone.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yes. Good questions. Yes, I think these are great. Absolutely. All right. What else?
Oh, here's a great question. VJ Drive says, hi, all. In your opinion, if your weather is cloudy and you can't see the moon, of your crystals still work okay? I say yes. Not as good as if the moon is shining, but the energy is still there. What you might do is consider leaving your crystals in a dish, maybe in a window, where the normally you could see the moon, and that energy will be there. Maybe leave it there like an extended amount of time, maybe for 3 nights instead of 1. But it will absolutely absorb that energy.
Lady Carol, Lady Angela, can I interrupt you? I need everybody to turn down their volumes just a little bit. I'm getting feedback from everybody's computer. Just turn down your volume just a little bit. Thank you.
How's that?
That's better. Okay, good. Thank you. I'm sorry, Lady Angela. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's all right. Do you want to comment on that, Lord Bob? If it's cloudy outside and you can't see the moon, will cleansing your stones in the moonlight still be effective?
Absolutely, yes, it will, because it's not dependent on us seeing the moon. The moon's presence generates a force whether we know it or not. It's nice to see it, but a little cloud cover never depletes the power of such an awesome force. One of the things that I was reading in one of my Wicca books was it said, when you do a full moon ritual, one of the symbols you should think about keeping on your altar is a crystal ball, because it can stand in to represent the moon. So especially on a night where you can't see the moon, you could bring out your crystal ball also to put that on your altar and have that be the presence of the moon, to represent.
Brilliant.
Mm-hmm. So
one thing I was going to suggest, you can also take a mirror and put a small mirror on the window and put your crystals on top. That would also enhance it.
Oh, I think so, yes. That's a really great idea. If you can get a round mirror, that's even better.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Tony, or Lord Tony, what do you use to represent the moon when you do an altar or a ritual?
I actually have a little crystal ball. It's not a clear crystal, but it's a quartz crystal. It's kind of smoky. But,
oh, that's nice.
I'll go grab it real quick. I'll show you.
Yeah,
I
see that.
love when you show and tell with us.
I know.
Lord Tony has the coolest stuff.
Weaving his metal rods of all different forms.
Titanium. Ooh, titanium.
I know.
Titanium.
I love titanium. But yeah, this is what I use. I have this little, like a milky quartz crystal ball that I use.
Perfect.
And,
I have that exact same one, actually.
Inch diameter. No, you don't. This one's mine.
Right. Gav says something cool in the chat. He says he still has some holy water that we made in a ritual from last year, and he uses it to bless and cleanse his doors. That's awesome. The Tech Wiccan says, as far as if the moon is still effective when it's cloudy, they say it's like the moon still affects the tides even if it's cloudy. Very true.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Somebody just wrote a good question for Lord Tony. It says, Lord Tony, how does your practice of working with angels differ from the techniques used in ceremonial high magic?
Oh.
That's a good question. I don't know if you want to answer that, but there it is.
Yeah, I can try to answer it. I basically have the angels around me. They're already here. No matter what you do, they're going to be there. With me, I just call on the angels. It's, as far as ceremonial high magic goes, that's a whole completely different ballgame there. I just call on the angels and have them with me. I don't do any ceremony, nothing like that, and I don't have to make a circle when I'm working with them. They're there for whatever I need them for. But the only answer I can give you.
I think that's true. Well, Lord Tony, I think that I love the way you answer that, because I think it points to the spirituality of the craft. Mm-hmm. The craft is considered to be low magic rather than high magic. And low doesn't mean it's less than or worse or weaker. It's a different technique, which is much more grounded in earth-based reality, here and now.
Right.
Would you agree with that? I mean, I think that's...
Yeah, I'd have to say so, because, angels are definitely of a higher vibration. And but yeah, I'm really tired. I haven't had a lot of sleep, so it's
great.
I can't really think too great here. I was actually still going on about the original question from before, like is like the moon having its own name as a goddess and the earth being God. However that first question went, but yeah, my mind is still going with weird ideas about that.
That's cool. It is inspiring. You know, we come up on different topics that come up and our different views and stuff. And it really does get our minds thinking, you know, in different angles and at other sides of the coin, which is nice. Mm-hmm. Sebastian Franks asks us if any of us have any advice on blessing a house.
Lady Carol, go on that. You know all about it.
I knew I was going to come under fire sooner or later.
We're going to throw you in the fire.
Yeah. What I suggest is use sage. Sage your house and say a blessing throughout your home. Open your windows so that if there is any negative energies or bad spirits or anything like that, they have an exit. One thing I learned to do is start from the front of your home and cover every inch of your home, even your closet. Say your blessing as you go. Sage every room, every closet. And when you exit, go through the back door. If there's any negative energies, any negative spirits, the back door would be an exit. In other words, you would tell that energy, you might have came in, but you're going out that way and you're not coming back in. You're not welcome back in. You know, blessings are prayers. And a lot of people, they think they have to do this big formal thing. No, you do not. Another thing you can also do is take salt and put salt in the corners of each room and bless that area as you go. Some people do it differently. That's what I do. You know, I also put crystals above my doorways, little tiny ones, above the threshold and on the windowsill. So you can try doing those methods. And you can always recharge them anytime you feel a negative energy or someone may have brought negative energy into your home. You can repeat this process and keep your home cleansed.
That's great advice. And you know, not always are we trying to get rid of bad energies. You know, we fresh move into a house, of course we want to cleanse that. But just like Lady Carol said, something as simple as walking around with a sage stick or even an incense stick, if you can't get a hold of a sage stick, walk through each room, you know, and waft the smoke so that it gets to each corner and just speak from your heart. I cleanse this building. I cleanse it of any residual energy from past residents or from the past at all. And I bless it and welcome in positive energy and blessings and prosperity for my family. And I welcome in love and I welcome in the angels. Nothing bad can live here. Something simple as that comes from your heart that you just recite as you walk through the house. If you feel like you need to, you could write it on paper and repeat it, but you really don't need to. Heart, it's out loud, and while you're wafting smoke around is a wonderful way to cleanse a home, just like Lady Carol said.
Yes, and another thing too that I will say, white sage works best, but you can use sage from your kitchen. It's the same thing. You don't have to go out and buy, you know, anything expensive if you can't afford it. If you use sage when you cook, that sage can be used as an incense to bless your home.
Absolutely.
Tilly Vlogs has a great thing they share with us. They say that I'll be adding water into my chalice and raising it up to the moon to charge the water. Allow the water to purify and bless me through meditation to honor the divine and ask for spiritual guidance. I think that's absolutely beautiful, and I want to thank them for sharing that with us.
Absolutely. You know, just to jump back a second, we were talking about symbols of the moon that you can have on your altar, like if you can't see the moon or you want to have that presence. Another one is, this is something I use sometimes. It's a little mirror on a stand. Can you guys see that?
Oh, that's
And
pretty.
I bought this at, I don't want to say what store, but anyways, I just bought it at a home goods store, a department store. And it's actually a makeup mirror. I think it like goes in your bathroom, but I think it looks very magical. And when you put it on a set altar, it's just so moon-like, you know?
Right.
Just something to think about. So you
Gorgeous.
have little mirrors. As you can see, it's a small mirror, but it's a great little symbol of the moon to put also in a shrine area.
This is an interesting question somebody asked. They say, Billy Mayer says, Bob, serious question. Why should one trust angels?
Well, good question. You can't trust every angel.
Oh, wow, I didn't expect you to say that.
In the spirit world, there are good angels and bad angels. You know, the Bible, and I'm not a Bible thumper, but the Bible and other ancient books besides the Bible talk about the fallen ones, the fallen angels. I do think there's truth that there has been spiritual war in the heavens and the spiritual realms, and some have chosen to make evil as their truth. So there are evil angels. They're actually called demons. Now, I know it's not popular. A lot of people in the craft said there's no devils, there's no demons. I personally have worked as a professional psychic. I've encountered true evil spirits. Not all of them are human. And so some of them, you know, it says like angels can masquerade, or evil can masquerade as light. That's in the Bible. It's actually true. Sometimes there are evil ones. So you have to be very discerning when you open that spiritual realm. Now, I don't mean to sound dramatic and there's a devil under every rock. No, but I think your question, why should we trust them, is a valid one. But I will say this. The angels that stand on guard to protect the universe from evil, their very nature is good. They have love. They are beings of pure love and light. And when you encounter a real angel, you'll never doubt it. You'll understand that. So until you understand that, I say test every angel. When you call on your own personal guardian angel, they're always going to protect you. So you can trust your own, but when you open that door and other angels go, you have to be discerning. But usually your own angel he's got your back and will prevent that from happening.
A friend of mine.
I need to add something to that though. That's when I make sure when I call on the angels, I always ask for the angels of the light. And that works out good. If you don't specify what you want, you don't know what you're going to get. And some of the fallen angels, I will agree, they do regret what they've done, and they are willing to help you. But the problem is they don't care about how they help you. So while you might still get your work done that you wanted, in the process, it could still end up hurting someone else. Whereas using strictly angels of the light, that won't happen.
Very good, Toe. Thank you. That's really great insight. I think you're really on with that. Yes, I will agree 100%.
A friend of mine, my boss actually, she just bought a house, and Bob read for her in a Messages from the Spirit World video, and I had no knowledge that in her new house, certain rooms when she was by herself, she was getting creeped out. You know, she was feeling something there, just an energy. And she came to me, and I put in her question, and eventually it got pipped, and Bob had her in the Messages from Spirit World, and it turned out it was one of the archangels that was actually there in her home to help and to heal her. And she was feeling that energy. But a lot of people that aren't necessarily spiritually minded like we are, or familiar with these concepts and ideals, they get creeped out and misinterpret that high vibration when they sense it, you know. And that was the case with her, and it's such a relief when she found out that high vibration she was feeling was actually an angel, a very high, you know, an archangel, very high vibration. And it was such a comfort for her to hear that. So I don't know why, I just thought I'd throw that out there too. So
Well, there you go. Gavin just said something. I may have missed part of the conversation, but Gav said, Lady Angela, we heard screams, etc. in the house, and the cellar door was always open and the light on in the middle of the night. Ooh, Gav, that sounds like
that same cellar, Bob, Lord Bob, that same cellar in that house was painted black and had red handprints all around in it.
Oh dear. So somebody may have been doing some black magic down in there. Possible.
Bill Mayer asked, Lord Bob, what if some evil entity pretended to be a good entity? Should we challenge it, like you said?
Yes. I think Tony will back me up and always challenge it, because the good is not threatened or intimidated by our challenge. And the evil will always reveal itself or back away. I
bet, in fact, that the good would actually respect us more for challenging it, because it would show that we are being that much more careful and wanting to make sure, and be honorable and dealing with only positive beings of the light. I bet you the angels would honor that more rather than get insulted,
I think so. What do you say, Lord Tony?
I believe you can challenge any angel you want, any being of the light you want. They're not going to get mad at you for doing it. They won't get frustrated with you constantly asking them, okay, was that true or not? Repeating your questions. They won't get mad at you. You want to verify it, you can verify it all you want with them. But a darker entity or an angel, they'll definitely get frustrated and let you know, why you keep asking me this? Things like that.
Right.
As long as you can hear them, but yeah, if you can hear them say something like that, I usually don't hear anything, but you can sense their frustration with you.
Right. That was a great bunch of questions there.
Hey, you guys got some great questions. We really love it when you come with all these fascinating things, because, I say it, it's really true. We learn through this show as much as you guys learn, because I get to hear all your opinions and insights and everybody on the panel. And it's like, wow, I come out every week. I don't know about you guys. All week long, I think about the show. I think about stuff we talked about. And I'm like, I got to think about that more. Or I got to research it. And I'll go look up stuff that we've talked about. I'll think about. I love that. Because, the craft is all about learning, and you never stop learning. Lady Carol, you and I were talking about that, how we never stop learning, do we?
Oh no, we're always learning something new every day. Matter of fact, show and tell time for me. I managed to find some copper rods, and we were talking about this. I believe it was the Sunday before, or maybe before that, about making these little lovelies.
Oh, dowsing rods.
Yes. And I've been kind of experimenting. Now, these are my miniature ones. And the reason I made these guys is because I can put them perfectly in my little travel altar. But I was looking at making some larger ones. And it's really simple. Now, I have larger ones.
Right. Can you give us advice on how you would use them?
Yes. Well, there's different situations to use them in. Other than finding water. You can actually use them when you speak with spirits. Now, from what I've learned so far, is you can actually ask yes and no questions. And by holding them straight out like this, I don't know if you can see both of them, by holding them straight out, if they cross, that will either be a yes or a no. So I'm still playing around with this. This is something that I'm learning to do. But from what I've learned so far, if it's a no, they'll go, I'm actually doing this, they'll go this way. If it's a yes, they'll cross. So someone had asked about using these. I don't exactly remember which show we were doing, but if you decide, hey, I want to try it, this is a simple way to make them. If you can find pure copper, or even, I don't know if Lord Tony would agree with me, even a metal that has some implements of copper in it, because copper is a generator. So it will actually generate the energy. Now, I was fortunate enough to actually find these at, you know, a, what is it? My brain just went blank. Where you would go and find, you know, pipes and
like a plumbing store or hardware outlet?
yeah, hardware store. And they had these, they were like almost discarded because I got them like, I think 10 for $1. And I bought them and I've been playing around with them ever since. So I'm kind of drawn to playing with these things now. But you know how it is when Spirit says, hey, try that. I'll give it a shot.
You know,
But go ahead.
I was gonna say dowsing rods remind me a lot of like using the pendulums, you know, for doing divination.
Yes. And that's why I'm kind of drawn to them, because I've used pendulums, I've used tarot, you know, I've used Ouija boards, and now I'm starting to like these little guys because they're so quick, they're so easy. But I'm going to say this like I do every single time. Make sure you cleanse them before you use them, because you're pulling in energies and you don't want negative energy. So bear that in mind. Any tool you use, I don't care if it's a cup from your kitchen. If you're going to use it for ritualistic purposes, cleanse it.
Can I jump in on that? Sonia Testerman just said a really good comment, which I want to talk about. She says you should put water in copper vessels. It removes all bacteria, and when you drink copper water, it removes harmful heavy metals out of your body by attracting them to the copper particles. I got to tell you, Sonia, I think that's absolutely true. In fact, I was just reading about this, that in India, this water in copper comes out of India, and it's an ancient Ayurvedic technique. And in fact, it's funny you're talking about this because I'm actually looking at buying copper vessels for my house. So yes, and you know, Lady Carol, like you're talking about with the dowsing rods, you know, like that copper. Copper, I think, is a magical metal. In fact, Lord Teddy, you probably know about this more than I do. It's considered a metal of the goddess, also.
Well, I think you know more about it than I do. Then.
Oh, okay.
I know about drinking the copper or water out of the copper vessels. I've heard of that before, and I just don't have any copper vessels here. But I try to make sure I got plenty of copper in my diet. I don't know how many people actually know this, but some of those really good dark chocolates that you can buy in the bag, just 2 squares of that is almost a full dosage of your daily copper intake, and that's one of my favorite things for lucid dreaming. Yeah.
Dark chocolate. Oh, that's interesting.
The darker the chocolate, the more copper content it actually has in it. And yeah, if you want a lucid dream, that's a way to do it too. You have 2 of those before you go to bed.
Oh,
wow.
Now, speaking of copper vessels, what I have is this. And I use it as my little cauldron. And I do put water in it. It's got a little rust from it. But this actually came from India, and it is all copper. And it works wonderfully, especially when I do my blessed water. I put it up on my altar in this and bless it with this. So you can find something like this, keep it as a treasure. It can serve as a cauldron as well, but it will get hot if you put anything directly in it.
Real hot.
Barrier. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
really
holds heat very well.
Good to know. I tell you, I'm so fascinated, how metals interact with people. This is so funny we're talking about this because I've been thinking about this, I was cleaning out my kitchen and I thought, oh, I have these old pots and pans and some of them were Teflon. And I thought, isn't Teflon like toxic? I haven't used them in a long time. And then I thought, I remember when I was a kid, people used to boil stuff in aluminum. We used to have aluminum saucepans, which now is considered very toxic. Or food, like to cook in aluminum. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But copper is one of those metals that's really safe. It's high energy. And as I said earlier, it's a metal of the goddess. It's considered to be associated, I believe, with the goddess Venus as well.
Well, speaking of cooking, I know I was going to say, speaking of cooking, I know that there are pots and pans now made with copper in them.
Yes.
Because of that reason.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, I know you're right. Were we saying, Lady Angela?
I've done forgot.
We're all blanking out tonight.
Right, I was so interested in what she was saying. There it went.
Yeah.
Gab asked, Lord Tony, what energies does titanium draw in?
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Definitely moon energy.
Oh, probably moon energy. It's like an etheric energy, I want to say. Wow.
Very good.
I'm too tired for this tonight. It's really good for like spiritual work and like astral travel, and I can't think, but that's pretty much what I'm thinking. It draws in those kind of energies and amplifies them for you.
And I have a theory that it has an effect on time-space continuum.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I have the stuff surrounding me right now.
Lord Tony, you're tired, and we're so happy you're here with us, though. We missed you when you're not.
Yes, we do.
Me too.
So basically,
and we don't feel nearly safe.
So basically, it would work for like astral projection, working with, I don't know, maybe, the spiritual presence and things like that.
Yeah, I believe so.
I've heard that it also is good for communication with aliens.
That's it too. Yep.
Yeah. It's similar a little bit to Moldavite. Lord Tony, you have Moldavite, don't you? I think you have a big Moldavite crystal.
I have a couple of them, yeah, and right now they're all upstairs charging.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I usually have one on me all the time, but yeah, I have all of them upstairs right now.
I think that titanium is a great option to Moldavite. I love Moldavite, but Moldavite's pretty expensive. It's hard to get a lot of times. At least good quality.
It is.
So I think titanium, my belief, is a good option if you want to work with alien connections.
Absolutely. Billy Mayer asks, Lord Bob, is black magic evil? I think it depends on what these people are using it for. Black magic is usually used for intimidation and for attack, and in that way you're going against free will and endangering people. And in that sense, I would say if that equals evil, then yes, it's dangerous and it's not encouraged, and we don't mess with it. Black
magic is not part of our order. If you practice black magic, you can't be part of the OPC, Order of the Purple Cord. Let me show you something. This is how my teacher many years ago taught me this. This is your power. As a witch, you build your personal power. Now, your personal power is not just for you. It affects everybody. So if I do a spell over here, I'm on this corner of my power, and let's say Lord Tony's over here. When I do my magic, it sends ripples across my power and affects Lord Tony over here. Now, hopefully I'm doing things that are bringing good. If I decide to be nasty and hit Tony with a zap, well, it will work. It will travel through my power. But guess what happens when you do black
right back?
Well, if you do it to Lord Tony, it's going to come back. But not only will it come back, when it comes back, guess what happens? Part of your power is destroyed. Now, you still have power, so you can go do another black magic spell. Let's say Lady Carol's over here, and we're going to put a zap on her. I can send it out. Again, those ripples will come back. And guess what happens when it hits me? Boom. My power starts to go down again. And the more black magic you do, it will work. But the price is you will sacrifice more and more of your power. Until at the end, there's literally nothing left, and you have nothing, and you're in tatters and destroyed by your own evil. So black magic will work, but look at the result. Nothing is left of your power. I want you to think about that if you're contemplating, because that will be the result.
And it also poisons your heart and your soul, you know, when you do these dark, mean, black things. That bit of good in you, that part that is your power, goes away like you're stabbing it with a pen, you know, and eventually you poison yourself where you just seep darkness, and there's just no way to be.
No, you don't want that. There's no real power in black magic. There's temporary power, yeah, but ultimately, Lady Angela said, poisons you.
You know how people always talk about seeing black entities and, you know, dark spirits. How do you think they got that way?
Yeah.
Did anybody ever stop and wonder, how did they become that? You know, when we're born, when we're created, we're all created in the light. We don't turn dark overnight.
Right. Right. Fairy Magic says there's a witch on YouTube who does the dark arts, and she's always having drama in her life. So it's a never-ending cycle. Very true.
Wonder why?
Yeah.
You attract it, you're going to get it back.
That's right.
I know exactly who that is, too.
Interesting.
It's Bob's favorite stalker.
Oh, dear.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is, but I know some people that do that, but I don't know this particular one, I don't think. But that's all right. We'll come back to that. We're not going to bring their energy into it.
No.
Don't do it. It doesn't get you anywhere. You might get a temporary gain, but you'll lose more than you ever gained.
Right.
You know, our soul is so precious. Our soul is so precious. We don't want to tarnish it. You're going to live forever.
Right.
So this is what people think. Forget. They think that we're going to be on this earth forever. We're not. We're leaving this earth someday. These bodies are temporary. We wear them. They're not who we are. Who you are is the light. Don't dim your light. That's what I said. Did we have another question?
So much chitter in our chat. It's just awesome. I mean, stuff's flying by. It's great. We have an announcement to make too, don't we, Bob?
Oh, yes, we do, actually. Thank you, Lady Angela. Now, I want y'all to get out your calendars or your cell phones or your computer calendar, because we got an important date coming up here. And I want to, this year, Lord Bob is trying to be on top of stuff, because you know I'm always last minute. So I'm giving y'all a way advance notice so you can get ready. On Sunday, February the 3rd, we're going to hold a live in bulk ritual here on the Witching Hour. So on Sunday, February 3rd, make sure to put on your best robes, bring your magical supplies, and we're going to do a live ritual. And Lady Angela, can you tell them about how to get a copy of that ritual?
Over to our Facebook page, just type in Order of the Purple Cord. I have posted all of our rituals that we've done here on the Witching Hour over the past year on our Facebook page, both our public one and also on our private one. The ritual is there. It's our in bulk ritual that we did for 2018. So go on Facebook and look up Order the Purple Cord. You could do a search for Imbolc, IMBOLC, and it'll pop up for you.
Yeah, so get a copy of that ritual. As Lady Angela said, we're doing the ritual that we did last year, because when you have a coven, part of the power of the coven comes from having a standard liturgy, something that everybody knows and becomes familiar with. So as we repeat these rituals each year, we'll build our familiarity, our comfort, and then it's easier to channel power. So that's why we're not changing it up. We're going to do the same ritual as we did last in bulk. And so if you missed last year's, you'll get to experience it this year. And if you were here last year, you're going to get to re-experience it in a new way, and you'll be more comfortable this time. So, excuse me, I invite you to go get a copy of that. Start studying it. You know, I think the best rituals are when people come already kind of knowing what the plan's going to be. And then you're more relaxed. You say, okay, now we're going to do this part. We're going to do that. It's the best way to do ritual. Do you guys agree with me?
Yep.
Yes.
Another thing I want to add to that too. When we did the ritual last year, we didn't have as many people, and we felt the power then from that ritual. Imagine what it's going to be this year. You know, the bigger we get, the more we grow, the more energy we build, the more we share with each other. So I would suggest everybody, you know, get a copy of it, study it, learn it. Even if you don't memorize it, have it ready. Come join us for that.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to that, and that's very true. You know, not off from the people performing it then, but just like the spells and rituals that you can find on my website at rarewiccaspells.com. I've performed them many times. We've performed them many times. Hundreds of thousands of people all over the world have performed them. And each time you perform a ritual that's been performed before, you're drawing on that energy from the last time, and you feel it. It gets supercharged because you're tapping into that vibration. And each time we re-perform a previously done ritual, it's going to be that much more powerful. And all of our rituals are in light. You know, they're for positive blessings. And I'm really looking forward to this Sabbath ritual. It's going to be beautiful, and it's going to be epic, and it's going to be even better than last time.
Absolutely. Well, you know, it's kind of like when, you know, have you ever been to a Catholic Mass and really felt the power? The Catholic Mass, no matter where you go, it's the same Mass every week in every church anywhere in the world. It's not like if you go to Mass in New York City and then the next day you go to California and go to Mass, it will be the same Mass. So that's, the Catholics have figured out. They stole it from the pagans. But the power of ritual and consistent ritual and repetitive ritual has power. I think it's exciting. Oh, look, we just got a donation in. Christian Dan just sent us $20. Christian, thank you. G-Dog just sent us $2. He's testing Super Chat. Thank you, guys. That's very, very nice of you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. That's very kind. Well, that's wonderful. I don't know if either of them had a question. But anyways, if you guys have a question with that, make sure we'll get it for you, okay? I think it's wonderful, you know. Oh, Tina Sellens is here. I got to give a shout out to her. There's Denise Simmons. You guys are great. Thanks for being here. Yeah.
Amazing weirdness. I can get behind a name like that.
I like that. Gavin Hines just said, as Lady Angela would say, Catholics are pagans in denial.
Right.
I'd agree.
That's true.
They got the Lord and the Lady. Yes, they do.
BMF456 asks, how do I apply? The Order of the Purple Cord, Bob created a few.
Oh, Lady Angela, you faded out on us.
A group of like-minded people. You don't have to be a witch to join. You don't have to be Wiccan, but you must promise to abide the Wiccan Rede, which means if it harms no one, you can do what you will as far as your rituals and your practices. And we're all solitary. We all do our own thing. We all practice on our own. But it's a way to connect and be a part of something bigger than just your own individual self. So we meet on our videos like here tonight. We follow Bob's YouTube channel, Spirit Channel. We have a Facebook page. We have two of them. One is you could go on Facebook, type in Order of the Purple Cord. That's where you can follow us for the whole public. But we also have a smaller, more intimate secret group, which you're all welcome to join that as well. No, you don't have to be on Facebook to be a member. And to become a member, you can either contact us through Facebook or send Bob an email at readings@robert-hickman.com. or send me an email at OPC, which is short for Order of the Purple Cord, at Rare Wicca. Either way, reach out to us, contact us, let us know that you would like to join. It's totally free. Let us know you promise to follow the Wiccan Read. And from there, I'll get you out a little bit more info, your official membership certificate, and some links in case you want to follow us over on Facebook. We'd love to see you there. It's a lot of fun. It's like a family. It's like you're coming home. And we really enjoy being a big part of it, and everybody in our group. We just love you all. And we're growing by the numbers, but yet our heart and our care and concern is always still there on a more intimate level. So.
Yeah, you know, the order, just for those of you guys that know, we're into the several thousand. I don't know what the exact count is. Lady Angela and I are working on a database to manage it, but we're in the several thousand members now, aren't we, Lady Angela?
Oh yeah, it's big. It's
big.
Several thousand, closer to 5,000 now, and it is worldwide.
Yeah, we're a global order, and in the future, you know, we're hoping to have some more standard things for the group. Like we're working on like having a standard robe. Like I'm working on getting somebody who can custom make robes so we all have the same robe. Just so you know, if you want to wear a robe, you don't have to do this. There's nothing in our order is compulsory except for the purple cord. That's compulsory. You do have to make a purple cord to wear for yourself. But aside from that, you know, what we're eventually going to have is like a standard robe you can buy. Our colors for our robes are black. For the order, the official robe will be black with a hood, and then you can wear your purple cord either around your waist or around your shoulders or both, either way you want. So black and purple are our order's official colors. So if you want to buy a robe for yourself, or you're making one, or you have a robe, if you want to do something that's more in line with this, black robes are what we wear as our official garb, you know.
But the robe's not required, but making yourself a braided or some kind of a purple cord is the other requirement. You know, and you could use a lot of different things to make it. You could use yarn, you could use fabric, you could use rope. Some of us have used parachute cord. It's called paracord that you could pick up at Walmart or a hardware store, many places. I like it. That's what mine is made out of. I like it because it's a good thick strand and I'm able to loop it and tie it really well. And then you just burn the ends and you're good to go.
I think that's wonderful. Yes. You know, a lot of us here wear witch hats, and I just love the witch hat. So if you feel like you want to wear a witch hat too, you're allowed to do that on our order. You don't have to, but it's something we enjoy and we have fun with. And the witch hat, you know, I won't go into a big long lecture here, but it represents the cone of power. That as we gather, we raise power and send it out into the cosmos. That's really what the meaning of the witch hat is.
Sebastian Franks asked a great question. They asked, can you be part of more than one order?
Yes. In our order, we do not require you to sever your ties with other orders. There are groups. Now, let me just tell you my own experience. I used to be a member of the Spiritualist Church. And one of the policies that I always felt was offensive was that if you wanted to formally join the Spiritualist Church, you had to renounce all your other ties to any religious group, whether churches or religious orders or even ordinations. I had a friend who was an ordained minister from a different church, and she wanted to join the Spiritualist Church. But she still had her clergy license, even though she was no longer active in her former church. The Spiritualists told her that if she wanted to join, she had to resign her credentials, even from her ordination. I've never liked that. It never felt right to me, because I say whatever talents, connections, and friends you have should stay with you in your life. And so for that reason, when I started the order, I made one of the rules and principles, guiding principles, that you did not have to sever your relations with your other groups and friends to be part of us. So no, I hope that answers that. You don't. You can be part of us if you belong to another coven. A lot of people here I know belong to Covenant of the Goddess, which is a national order for goddess worship. There's also a lot of us, I myself included, and Lady Angel, we also belong to another group called the Fellowship of Isis out of Ireland. And so I hold membership in the Fellowship of Isis as well as
I do too.
And Lady Angel does too. And you don't have to resign your allegiance. Did you guys have anything to add to that?
Where has the time gone? Why? I looked a minute ago, it was 6:30, and now it's like 6 minutes till time. My goodness.
Oh my gosh, it is fun. Well, guys, I don't know. What's that, Lady Carol?
It's Tony again.
I'm telling you, he's got that titanium. Look, oh, he's showing it. Look, Tony saying
it. Right there.
Yep.
Ah, that titanium. I'm going to come and steal that titanium. Anyways, guys, I am so glad you guys took the time to be here. I hope we got in some of your questions. We had some really good questions. I know there are a lot more. We can't always get everybody, but we certainly give it a go. And I want to tell you thank you. I want to give credit here. Everybody on our panel, they all work so hard. Lady Angela, Lord Tony, Lady Carol, thank you for being here. You guys are the best. If you want, and I encourage all of you, each of us here are here to help support you on your journey. For example, I'm a professional psychic medium. And if you want to sit down and have a private reading with me, my private readings are a full hour long. And in my readings, we cover everything: past, present, future, spirit guides, messages from deceased loved ones, your life mission, all of that. And I answer all your questions. It's an hour long. We can do that by telephone or by Skype. And I'm getting pretty full this month, but I'd still love to get you on my schedule. Give me a call, 703-825-3929. That's my phone number. Or you can write to me, readings@robert-hickman.com. All of those links will be below. And, if you're working on your Wiccan life and you're saying, I need to learn more, I need some supplies, I need some books, I need to kind of sort this out, pop on over and see Lady Angela. Lady Angela, why don't you tell us about your work and your site?
Sure. My website is rarewiccaspells.com. I have tons of stuff there. I have jewelry, I have rituals, I have books, I have herbs, I have candles, I have all sorts of magical tools and supplies. It's worth a look. You qualify always for a 10% coupon to save 10% on any order. The coupon code is Spirit Channel. I've been working out some kinks in my website here the last couple of days. So if you get any trouble, there's a contact me page. Just shoot me over an email and I'll get you sorted out and make sure you get your order and get to save your money on that too. So keep in touch. It's worth a look. And if you haven't ever got a reading from Bob, do it. You will not regret it. Psychic Bob's readings are phenomenal. You will not regret it. It's an hour long. He covers everything. He covers your chakras. He covers your life path in this life. He tells you some of your past lives. He tells you your purpose in this life. He'll tell you about your spirit people. Sometimes they're from your past lives that come up. He describes them. He tells you their message. And any questions you have all throughout, there's the question and answer part as well. You will not regret it. And maybe you had a reading from him before. Get another one. It's never the same info. He expands on whatever your situation is right now, what you're going through right now, what spirit feels you need to know right now. That's the message you're going to get. And it's always evolving. It's always wonderful. And it's always going to be awesome and epic to your path right now. Give it a go. Or you can email them at readings@robert-hickman.com or look them up, psychicbob.com.
Thank you. I forgot to say www.psychicbob.com. And listen, Lord Tony is also here as a great guide for many people. He's a powerful angelic connector, a healer, a visionary. Lord Tony, tell us about your work.
I swear my intros are getting better and better. Visionary now.
Well, you are. You're awesome, Lord Tony. What you do for people is amazing, and it's real and true, and it's effective, and it works.
Well, yeah, I know, but yeah, I do angelic energy healings. I have the angels. They send their energies down through me where it gets transmuted, and I send it out to each individual, and the angels will actually guide it to where it has to go. So I don't even have to actually know your name. I don't have to really. I can use an ID handle or whatever you want to call it. I don't even need a picture sometimes. but it goes to where it has to go, and the energy goes where. I think I'm repeating myself there. It goes where it's supposed to be at, and knows exactly what it's supposed to do, and it works wonders. I love what I do, and my website, you can see it in the link down below, or you can Google Lightbringers Angels, and it's by donation because I'm here to help you guys.
And definitely, yeah. Lord Tony's worth every penny. Make sure to be generous with him because he puts a lot of energy. He literally saved everybody on the panel's life at some point here. We've all had police calls and been very ill.
Yes.
Lord Tony's
I was struggling with laryngitis for an entire week. I had no voice left whatsoever. And Tony did a session for me. I was sitting on my couch. He had said he was going to do some healing work for me. And I'm sitting on my couch watching TV with my son. And then I just feel tingling and energy in my throat. So I just leaned back and just kind of let it do. And I swear to you, later on that night, I had a little bit of voice, but by the next day, I had a voice. It works fast. Now, Lady Carol, she's going to have a store coming up this next week. She and I have put our heads together, and we're shooting for by the end of next week to have at least her first few items listed online, some beautiful wands. So you guys can look forward to a link to that, hopefully by next week's witching hour. Or send her a message, ladycarols.wandsandmore@gmail.com.
Yes, and I was going to show off just a few. They're still in the process, but it'll give you a general idea of what I'm doing. This is one that I worked on. I don't know how well you can see it.
Oh,
wow.
You got to talk, Lady Carol.
This one has a little glass bead at the end. It's gold and black. And what I've done is I've put some inlays of some stones inside. I just have to finish the wood down here, and it's pretty much ready to go. I have another one here that is vines. It's still unpainted, but it gives you a general idea of the work that I do on some of these wands. I also have another angelic wand that I'm working on, and I've already started painting on this one. I don't want to blast the light too much, but
They're gorgeous.
Beautiful.
I do want you to see the detail work that I put into these. Now, I am thinking of doing some where I am not painting them, and the reason for that is it gives you the option to paint them the way you want them and put your energy into them. That's kind of an experimental thing, but we'll see what happens. This one is kind of pink and white, and it is going to be a paint it yourself. It's a smaller wand, and it's more of a traveler wand. Just to give you guys a general idea of the sizes of these wands, they're different lengths. I'm going to try and back up here without dropping anything. But this will give you a general idea of the sizes.
Wow.
I don't know if you can see the full lengths of these wands. And the
Tilt them a little
beautiful,
Lady Carol. Tilt them like that.
Different lengths of wands is because everybody has a different preference on their size of wand. And you can see by the ends how they start and how long they actually are. Now, some are wire wrapped, some are not. I'm also going to try and do custom wands where people can tell me if they want wire wrap wands or if they don't. And I'm thinking of doing just simple wands with not, no fancy smancy stuff, because some of the guys don't want all that. So what I'm coming up with is something similar to this. They're just simplified wands that can be painted if you choose, and This one's actually, I believe, 24 inches. And then I have 12-inch ones, the small one. And then this one's a little shorter than 12 inches. But we'll see what happens. I'll get the full measurements and everything once I get my site up. And I'll have pictures of all these wands. But you can find me at ladycarol's.wandsandmore@gmail.com. I also want to throw in a couple of cliffhangers for Lord Bob, because he didn't bring this up. And that is his books. He's a published author. And he always does this. He forgets to mention his books.
Thank you, Lady Carol.
So, Lord Bob, Lady Angela, Lord Tony, you got to check them out. These people have saved my life, literally, in more ways than one. I've had Lord Bob's readings. He helped me get my home. He kept my confidence up and reassured me that it was going to happen. I wouldn't be sitting here now if it hadn't. Lady Angela, she gives me advice on how to work my business. I bought beautiful works from her. I own one of her books, and I'm not letting it go. And Lord Tony has saved my life more than one time, quite literally. I've had illnesses that you would not think of, you know, being healed overnight with. I've had serious cases of the flu, and I'm going to tell everybody this. I'm diabetic. A diabetic with the flu could put me in a hospital. He saved me from that. My husband had cancer. Lord Tony helped with his cancer. My husband is still with me right now. If you don't believe anything like that can happen, try it. There's no such thing as it doesn't work. It works. Believe me, I can testify to all three of these people sitting here right now.
Well, we love you too, Lady Carol.
Thank you, Lady Carol. We love you too. Yes, and I do appreciate you. I always forget. I got a stack of books I got to show them. There's the one Lady Carol showed. You want to work on your magic? Psychic Bob's Book of Spells, okay? Ouija Mysteries, Spirit Board Seances, Psychic Bob's Book of Wicca Wisdom, and Messages from Rose, and I have a few others. All of those are over at my website, psychicbob.com. Well, guys, we have reached the hour. We're going to say goodnight to you. We thank you for being here. Listen, help us out. Make sure to go back after this video processes it. Like it, favorite it, share it with your friends, post it on your website, post it on your Facebook. Help the word to get out about Spirit Channel. Spirit Channel and the Order of the Purple Cord, and especially about our witching hour, because we have the best time with you guys. We're going to wrap it up. We all send all of our blessings to you. May you have a blessed night, and be back here tomorrow at Spirit Channel, because what's tomorrow, Lady Angela?
Horoscopes.
Yay! That's right. We're going to have your horoscopes. You guys really enjoyed last week. We're going to do it again tomorrow, so make sure to be here. We're going to cover all the major transits and individual zodiac individual horoscopes for each zodiac sign, so you don't want to miss it. Be here tomorrow. Guys, thanks for being here. I love all of you. We'll see you tomorrow. And until then, may you all always blessed be.